Okay, now here's an alternative method or another way of visualizing the FOIL method if you have to expand a term. So let's look at an example. Let's say we wanted to expand the term. Here's our example. We've got the expression negative 3x, negative 3x plus 2 times 5x minus 8. And we wish to expand that. So the idea is to expand this set of brackets. Now, you've already seen that one method is to use the FOIL method, where you multiply the first two, the outside two, the inside two, and the last two. There is another way of doing it or setting it out, which for some people might make more sense, and here it is. What you can do instead, if you're given an expression like this and you need to expand it, you can use a rectangular or square grid. Now, the idea of this method is, right, so one of the brackets, and I'll choose this one, we write that across the top. So that's minus 3x. Now remember, the sign in front of the term stays with the term, and then plus 2. So there's my orange term. The other term, we'll make that a blue term, that's 5x minus 8. So I'm going to write that on the side, 5x, positive 5x, and then minus 8. Now, what we can now do, the reason why this is actually easier, I think, for some people anyway, is that it really forces a level of organization on the way you're doing it. So it does seem to make a lot of sense. So I'll just try and get white, there we go. Right, so all we do is multiply each of the terms together to find out what goes in the box. So the first one, I'm going to multiply 5x times negative 3x. So 5 times negative 3 is negative 15, and x times x is x squared. Okay, the next one, I'm going to multiply 5x by positive 2. So 2 times 5 is 10, and the x is just on its own, so it's 10x. Now I'm going to multiply minus 8 by negative 3x. Negative 8 times negative 3 is positive 24, so it'll be plus 24, and there's the x in there as well, because it's negative 8 times negative 3x. And finally, minus 8 times positive 2, and that's going to give us negative 16. So there's our four terms that we can now put together and simplify our expression. So I'm going to write this down, the x squared term first, so it's going to be minus 15x squared. Now notice here we've got two like terms. There's two x terms here. 24x plus 10x. I'll write that down as plus 24x, then plus 10x, and then finally the number term on its own, which is minus 16. So if we now clean this up, it's minus 15x squared. 24x plus 10x is going to be 34x. So it's plus 34x and minus 16. And there we have it. There's our term fully expanded. So you can use this method if ever you've got a bracket where, or you're multiplying two brackets together, you can set up a grid to multiply them. And you could use this if you wanted to, just to show you a quick another example. You could, if you had to, use this to do something like the following. So we'll just hide that. Actually, I'll bring that back. Let's say I had a bracket that was, oops, sorry about that. Let's say it was 3x plus 5y minus 2 multiplied by 2x minus 4y. So you had one bracket with 3 terms and another bracket with 2 terms. Well, we could modify our grid to make this work for us. So we'll just get a bit of green happening there, I hope. There we go. And I'm just going to add another 2 boxes onto our grid, and you hopefully will see why I'm doing this. So now I'll change this purple. So there's my purple term. So my purple term has 3 parts to it. So I'm going to write the 3 parts across the top. So it's going to be 3x multiplied by positive 5y, that's positive 3x by the way, and minus 2 along the top. And along the side, it's 2x minus 4y. So positive 2x, negative 4y. And it's the same trick. Basically, you multiply every term by every other term, and all we do is fill in the boxes. So this first box is going to be 2x times 3x, which is 6x squared. This box here, the second box, is going to be 2x times 5y. 5 times 2 is 10, that'll be 10xy. Third box will be 2x times negative 2, which is minus 4x. And now we continue down the bottom. That's going to be minus 12xy. This next box is going to be negative 20y squared. And the last box is going to be negative 4y times negative 2, which is positive 8y. So, and once again, we just write those down and in a straight line and simplify it. It helps to find the like terms. Let's see if we can identify any like terms. There's one like term here. The 10xy is a like term with this one. They are both xy terms. There's no other x squared term, so that one sits on its own. There's no other x term, so that term sits on its own. That's on its own. There's no other y terms, no other y squared terms. So the only set of like terms are these two here. And so if we were going to complete this, we would write it like this. It would be 6x squared, that's that one, plus 10xy minus 12xy. Well, 10 minus 12 is negative 2. So it's going to be minus 2xy. So I've taken care of both of those. Then I've got minus 4x, that's taken care of that one, plus 8y, which is that one, and finally minus 20y squared. And there's our final expanded term. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.